Welcome back to my channel and to another episode of this Redux course. In this episode, we'll take a look at what I consider the holy grail of Redux and Redux Toolkit. I'm talking about createSlice. Now, createSlice aims at simplifying actions, reducers, and how we structure our Redux code. Now, let's see quickly how to use createSlice in a simple application. We've got this simple Redux application here, which uses a configure store, create action, create reducer. Now, this is slightly different from what we built in previous episodes because I wanted to go quickly here, but in the end, you won't lose nothing because all you need to know about Redux will be in this file in a moment. We already saw create action for creating actions in Redux. Once you call create action, you get back an action creator, which can be also used as an action key inside your reducer. And we also saw what is the middleware, how to build a middleware. I created a simple logger middleware here, and we use configure store to configure our store. And to pass your middleware, don't forget to use this get default middleware because the Redux Toolkit includes Redux Thunk and another middleware for checking invariants by default. So by using get default middleware, when you customize this middleware key, you won't lose this default middleware, and you can pass your own middleware in the array here. Here we've got this simple button that when clicked dispatches an action of type button clicked. And we also saw create reducer as a way to create a simple reducer in Redux without all the boilerplate that comes with the classic reducer. I'm talking about the switch, I'm talking about the immutability that you have to respect with object assign or the spread of the object spread operator. Now, let's see how to use createSlice to condense all this logic here in a single function. When we talk about slice, we talk about a feature of your application. Now, here we have a simple button, so I can create a button slice by calling create slice from Redux Toolkit. Now, this slice takes an object of options. First thing first, you want to assign a name to your slice. So, for example, here you can have a search slice that drives the search over your application, and in that case, you will name this slice search or search something. Here we give this slice button because we want to stay simple. So first thing first, you give the slice a name, and this name will be the prefix for our actions. Next up, we give this slice the initial state. Here the initial state, for the initial state we can use this initial state here, so you can either move the initial state inside this slice, or you can use whatever initial state you got in this file. In this case, I just moved the initial state inside the call to create slice. Once you've got the name of the slice and the initial state, you can give this slice reducers. Reducers here, we don't need any switch, we don't need any check. What we do instead is to simply give this object of reducer a mapping of action. If in your reducer here you've got this button clicked, here you can simply say button clicked, and this button click will be assigned to a reducer function. In this case, we need just to mutate the initial state by changing button clicked. So here we will say state button click equal yes. That's it. So this reducers object gives you the ability to define action types. So each action that you define here is an action, but it is also a case for this reducer. Imagine we've got another action here, for example, div visible, you will say state arrow function, state, for example, the visible equal yes, and this will be another case. So this is the theory behind reducer inside createSlice. For now, we don't need this div visible because we don't want to give visibility to any div. And really, that's it. With createSlice, you pass a name to the slice, you pass the initial state, and you pass an object of a case for your reducer. Another thing to keep in mind is that when working with immer, which is included in Redux Toolkit, you can avoid returning the state here. So you can just mutate the state with state.buttonClicked, and immer will take care of the state mutation. In reality, as we said in the previous lessons, immer doesn't mutate the initial state. It takes a copy, it mutates the copy and returns the copy. The original state will always stay immutable. So you can avoid this return state because immer will take care of this. Now that we created this slice, we can remove create action and create reducer here. Now you can imagine that with a slice, with a bigger slice, with many actions and with many reducer, you will simplify a lot your Redux code base. So keep in mind that each slice could be associated to a given feature in your application. Okay, now once we got this slice, we need to get back the action, because here we need an action to dispatch, and these actions are returned from this slice. So you can destructure, for example, button clicked from button slice dot actions. So whatever action you have inside this createSlice, that will be destructurable here. In this case, I got back button clicked. Another thing we need now is a reducer for our configure store. In this case, what we do is to give this reducer an object, and here from our createSlice, from our button slice, we get back the reducer. So we can say button reducer, for example, equal button slice dot reducer, and that gives back the actual reducer that you can use here as a slice for your state. That's it. Now, if I open up this simple application in the browser, I can see that the correct action is dispatched, and also I can log the state in the console. So what we did here is to simplify our Redux feature, this Redux slice, by removing create action and create reducer in favor of createSlice. createSlice is really nice to work with, and again can simplify a lot your code base. Now let's give it a shot a moment to this simple application, which is running here, and should be everything good to go. If I go here in the Redux Dev tool and I click here, I can see button click that it is dispatched, and the state changed from no to yes. Also in the console I can see from the middleware that I logged the action button. As you can see, this button prefix comes from the slice, so it's the slice name, and we've got also a payload here, because don't forget that when you create an action with create action or from createSlice, that action is already ready, no pun intended, to accept a payload. Also, we've got here, we logged the state of the application, and since we passed a slice to the root reducer, to the main reducer in configure store, we got back this button reducer slice in the application. So again, the name of the actions are prefixed with this button, which is the name of the slice. Also, we destructured our action from button slice.actions, and we got the reducer from button slice.reducer. And now that we have this main reducer here assigned to an object, this object of slices will contain each slice of our state. In this case, we've got this button reducer, which corresponds to the button slice that we created earlier. Everything works as expected. This button clicked was created by the slice, so whether you create an action with create action or with create slice, that action is already ready to accept a payload. And again, create slice for me is the holy grail of Redux and Redux Toolkit. Try to refactor as an exercise an application of yours from classic Redux code base to Redux Toolkit. Let me know how do you like it, and feel free to comment below if you need help or if you want to see something specific about Redux on this channel. Let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the next episodes. Take care. Bye.